So now you've got the ability to to tune in and read people. Are you reading like the future for them, or are you tuning into like past loved ones that are, bringing the information through? How's it actually working?
I am tuning into, I get so your life is a movie, and I'm plucking out a part of your movie that's in the future. And so it's to me, it's like watching um, a trailer, like a trailer of a movie, and I've got all these little bits, and I'll just pull it out. So the hard part for me is to work out how it could possibly fit into your life without knowing anything about you. So I have to try to explain that what I'm seeing, I describe the picture of what I'm seeing. That's why I like to know a very brief amount of things of somebody. All I need to know is if they're in a relationship already, because I wouldn't like to be seeing um, if I get a picture of them in a relationship and I'm describing somebody, but that's not who they're with. I don't want to then uh, ruin their life by them thinking there's somebody else coming along. Like gotta be very careful with people's feelings.
Yeah.
Um, if I know a little bit about somebody first, I can then work out what that picture is how that is fitting into their life.
Because there must be like for the very fact that you're interacting with this person, you're kind of affecting their life or maybe sending it in a different direction that it might have been going. So I imagine
It's
you want to be very careful.
it's a very big responsibility, and some of the things that people ask me, they put a lot of pressure on me to answer. I can't tell people what to do. That's your life is your life. It's more of I'm gonna help you find the right path that makes it feel like you're aligned with it. But basically your life is your choice.
Yeah. So even though you may be tapping into futures for them, it's still up to them but really just take the information and do what you want to do with it. And that must have, even the fact that they would contact you must have been part of their plan originally anyway.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like someone will just the way people find me is absolutely incredible. And I'll just have to share this story about there was a man who had taken his life, and his wife was not into psychics or anything like that, but he really the energy is like his energy just wanted her to have some kind of peace, because he could feel her energy was not at peace because of the way he passed. It's not like he had to tell her he was sorry or anything like that. It was more that he could just feel her energy was not at peace. So he had made her a ring when he was alive. He'd made her a ring, and she wore that her whole life. She'd taken the ring off and she put it on a tissue box. And when she went to pick it up, it was gone. And she searched everywhere and she couldn't find it. And she thought, all right, I'm going to try this psychic lady to see if she can find the ring, because I do remote viewing. 2 days before she contacted me, I was in my backyard and I happened to just look up, and I catch energy, and then all of a sudden it'll form into the shape of what it looked like when they were alive. Just so I know, because energy is just energy. Energy is just particles. But if you need them to know what they can form into what they looked like when they're alive, just so that I know as a human. And I saw this man standing against the wall, and he had brown pants and a blue shirt. He had a really grumpy look on his face. It was like a flash. Anyway, so I'm gardening and I looked up and I'm like, okay. And then I look back down and he's gone. So that's normal for me.
Not for the average
About,
person, but okay.
yeah. And then about 2 days later, she contacts me and she writes to me, and she buys a reading for a lost ring. And she says, my husband passed away and he made this ring for me and I can't find it. And the moment I read those words, I thought that was the man that was at my house.
So after that experience, did things come up? Was it like things came online and more abilities were happening for you?
It just sort of in my like late 20s, it was just simple little things like I was living at home with my mum and dad. So I would just say to my mum, the phone's about to ring. And it did. And it was just little things like that. And and then it was when I was in my 20s, I moved to another town, and you know how you cross paths with just the right people.
At the
I
right time.
At the right time, I had met the man I was going to marry. So I met him, and he took me to a friend of his house, and the friend's wife was a psychic. And I walked into her house and we just clicked. We just instantly clicked. And she's the same age as my dad. So she was born on exactly the same day as my dad. So she became like this mother figure type lady that guided me. And she was holding meditation classes. So I just started going along 2 or 3 times a week. I was going to meditation classes, which then helped me understand what I was trying to develop.
Right. Yeah. Because I was going to ask, once these things start happening, like if they weren't happening prior, one could easily think you're starting to go crazy or what's happening because most people don't have these abilities or these experiences. So you
Yeah.
want to, if it was me, I would be wanting, def- kind of desperately wanting to search out some help or some guidance because you've got to make sense of what's going on.
Yeah. And she just happened to, I met her right at the right time. And it was through her meditation classes and through her guidance and through the work she was doing. She taught me, she was very, very good at not telling you what to believe, but allowing you to unfold your own beliefs, because every psychic works differently and
Hmm.
we interpret things differently. So yeah, I did that
Yeah.
for probably 15 years. I was going to meditation classes all the time. And it was
Wow.
during that time I realized I was very, very good at automatic writing. So I'm not a psychic that likes to have people sit in my house and talk, and I don't like videoing. I don't like talking. I write, it all comes through with writing, because I feel like you just keep typing and it all just flows and no one's interrupting you and breaking the flow.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because one of the big sort of questions I have with those things is, you know, it sounds like people tap into a higher sort of consciousness or energy or information and it comes through them. But then when it's coming through you, it must be sort of like filtered through you or kind of like there's a little bit of a you weaved into it as it comes through, the language, for example.
Yeah. I find we work out how to best communicate. So if I was needing to give you a message and I don't know who your relatives are or anything, but if I had to give you a message about your auntie, I would see my auntie,
Right.
right? So the symbol is I see my auntie, which is then saying, "Oh, this is about an auntie." It's a way that they will give me a picture that I'm familiar with to push me in that direction. So it's not the reading's not about me. It's just to connect the dots, so to speak.
Yeah, putting the puzzle together. Is so when you did the meditations for so many years, was that what started to open it up for you and give you visual? Is it turned into visualizations as opposed to like words coming through?
So when I started, first of all, just because I find guided meditation to be when you go on a journey, a guided meditation where they take you down a path
You're
and
like
there's a
using your
door.
imagination.
Yes, where you're looking at visions
Yeah.
in your mind. And
Mhm.
it was, I was doing that for about 2 years. And then I stopped doing that and I started watching. There was a whole class, there was 15 people sitting in a room meditating. So then I swapped to the lady was taking the meditation. I was sitting there observing. And while everyone else was in a meditated state, I started seeing faces coming around them and animals, and then a message would be sort of drawn from them to me. So when they finished the meditation, we would go around the room and I would say, "Well, I saw this with you and I saw this with you." And that's how I started to develop the ability to read energy.
Yeah, the whole story that you've told about your NDE almost makes me want to, you know, secretly inside want to have an NDE because it sounds like an incredible experience. But of course, I
Yeah.
don't want to die to get
Yeah.
there. So I'm
Yeah,
not,
'cause you
I'm
don't
not
know
going to
if
go
you
down
come
that
back.
path. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't know
Well,
if I come back until I actually live it.
I never planned on I never asked for an NDE. I never planned on having one. I do know when I did come back out of it, for about 3 weeks afterwards, I was depressed. Like, I really didn't wanna be here. I thought I missed it so much, I wanted to go back. And the lady that was my meditation lady, she had heard that this had happened to me, so she gave me a phone call. And she had had an NDE years and years ago she had a heart attack. And the first thing she said to me was, because I said to her, I left my body and I went, and she goes, "Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful?" And she was like, she knew exactly how it felt. And then she said to me, "You needed that to happen because you're going to be teaching a lot more in the future and you can't teach the wrong way." Like, they were helping you to teach correctly, not teach from a place of what I thought. Now I know I've lived it. I know I've experienced it. But before it would have been teaching from a place of, I think this happens.
Yeah, teaching from a place of knowing instead of beliefs or thinking,
Yes.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which has to be very authentic, I suppose,
Yeah. Well,
by its
yeah,
nature.
because you're just teaching the wrong thing, really, aren't you? Yeah.
Mm, yeah. Wow, excellent. This is there anything we've missed out? I know you do readings and things, and we'll put all the details in the description below, but is there anything we've missed out that you'd like to add in?
I've tried a lot of stuff over the years. Like, I've trained in energy healing, like hands-on
Okay.
healing.
Yeah.
Not Reiki. I didn't do Reiki. It was like it's just like an energy healing, and I've done that for years. I don't
So
do
you
that
have people come for one-on-one sessions for that?
no, I don't do that anymore. I don't know why I don't do that anymore. I will do it on people like that I know, like a relative or something like that. I'll do it, but I don't know. It's just something I'm more focused on the reading side of things. I used to draw a lot, draw. So I see faces in my mind and then I would just draw them. And I'm not a very good artist, but I would just draw them out. And then someone would say to me, "Oh my goodness, that was my um, a guy that I went to school with." I've got a really good, because I wrote a book and I put it in the book. I put lots and lots of all the stuff that's happened to me over the years. But this is a really good story. When we were um, living in this farmhouse, and we had I've got 5 sons, but at the time we only had 4 sons. And one of my sons had a girlfriend stay over. And so we had this really long passage. My bedroom was right at the end, and so I could sort of put my head up from the bed and look down the passage, and I could see all the bedrooms coming off. So this one particular night, I used to, being a mum, every noise that you hear, you'd wake up, you know. So I'd heard one of the kids get up, and I've put my head up and looked down the passageway, and I saw my son. He was about 17. He's walking down the passageway to turn to go into the kitchen. I saw his girlfriend because she slept over. So I saw her walking behind, and she turned to go in the kitchen. And then I saw this other guy, and he's walking down the passage. And I'm thinking, what are they doing with 3 people in the bedroom? And, like, it caught me for a moment. And then this third one, he stopped and he just leaned against the wall. And then I realized I could see through him, right? Because I was a bit, that state of being a little bit awake, asleep, that I realized I could see straight through him, and I could see like what he looked like in life, but he wasn't real. And then I saw my son had gone to the fridge to get a drink. I saw him come back out, and he just walked straight past this guy, and he went back to the bedroom. His girlfriend followed, and then this spirit just went, poof, just disappeared. So the next morning, breakfast, I thought, I'm not going to say something to the kids. I don't want to scare them or anything like that. But I said, this really weird thing happened last night when I heard you two get up to go to the kitchen to get a drink, and I actually saw this energy following you. And then I started describing him, and then the girlfriend goes, "Hang on a sec," runs down to her bedroom, comes back with a photo. She goes, "Is it him?" I said, "That's him," because he had like curly hair. I had described him perfectly. She goes, "He was my boyfriend in high school, and he got killed in a car accident." He just followed them, like he just followed her, like his energy was just connected to her.